I remember in my young days writing an article setting out the usual Aryan invasion theory. So I'm a convert from the Aryan invasion theory. And in fact, most pro-out of India scholars are converts. Now in the new generation, there are many who have never known anything else. But for us, the Aryan invasion scenario seemed obvious. We didn't know anything else. Now, in the 80s, people started to doubt. And so what came about was not yet the out of India theory, but the non-Aryan invasion theory, or rather the Aryan non-invasion theory. There had been an out of India theory before, that's like more than 200 years ago, when the language family Indo-European was discovered in 1667. Then the first explanation was the out of India scenario. And so not just these ugly, vicious Hindu nationalists that are blamed nowadays. The top thinkers of the European Enlightenment, like Voltaire and like Immanuel Kant, proposed the out of India scenario, said explicitly European civilization stems from the banks of the Ganga. This is literally what Voltaire said in about 1770. And so for about 50 years, the out of India scenario was the dominant one. But so around 1830, 1840, this starts to make way for peri-Caucasian scenario, either north of the Caucasus or south of the Caucasus, west of the Caucasus, but always in that neighborhood, so out of India. So all these different homeland scenarios amount to the same thing, namely immigration into India. Back then they candidly said invasion. Nowadays they are all squeamish about this. They insist that you say Aryan immigration theory. That has two reasons. One is simply the spirit of the times. You see, invasion is something military, something, toxic masculinity. And so that's like not fashionable anymore. But there is a more pressing practical reason. It is that if there had been an invasion, a military invasion, a conquest, we would have seen quite a few signs of that. And the archaeologists would have discovered mass graves and burned cities and so on. Now we do find these, but not in India. In Europe there has also been an Aryan invasion, or rather over there has been an Aryan invasion. Around 3000 there was a strong demographic concentration of Indo-European speaking people in what is now Ukraine and southwestern Russia. And so from there they invaded Europe from about 3000 BC onwards. And that you really notice, because you see a complete new pattern that is archaeologically identifiable, new pottery, new grave styles, new housing styles, and so on. So you see a new population has arrived. And you also see it's not just that they changed their styles and so on. No, you see that it's a real new population, because nowadays it can be confirmed with genetics. And you can see that among the male population in Europe, there has practically been a genocide. They've all been killed off in battle. The women have survived. They were, as it goes in those situations, used as breeding cattle. So they have survived, or their genes have survived. At any rate, there you do have an Aryan invasion. There you can see what an Aryan invasion must have looked like. And it's completely absent in India. And so because there were no signs of a military conquest, they perforce had to retreat to the position that, oh yeah, they must have moved into India under the radar. Somehow they took over the largest civilization existing in the world at that time, larger than Egypt and Mesopotamia combined. They took that over, they imposed their language, their religion, and yet they left no trace. See, that's fairly uncommon. So there was, now you see with archaeological and then finally genetic advances, there was doubt about there arose doubt about the Aryan invasion theory. A cutoff date is 1984, when the American archaeologist Jim Sheffer declared very explicitly and openly, there is no evidence at all, nothing at all has been found to substantiate this fabled Aryan invasion that we all talk about.